Hi, I'm Caitlin, and I'm a lecturer in film and television in the School of Creative Arts at the University of Hertfordshire.
And I'm Laura, and I'm a senior lecturer in film and TV and the head of the media research group, also in the School of Creative Arts. And we are the co-organisers of the conference Genre Nostalgia, which is taking place online in January 2021. So the conference is going to explore connections between film and television genres and nostalgia, memory, and other manifestations of the past. And we hope that it will facilitate dialogue between these two rich and increasingly interconnected areas of study. Film and TV genres and nostalgia have long been intertwined, of course. Fundamentally, both are rooted in the practice of creatively recycling and adapting modes of the past. Steve Neal's assertion that genres are processes of repetition and variation is also applicable to many films and programs which reimagine historical events, recall past eras, or draw from earlier styles and classic literature.
Period dramas regularly cite the codes and conventions of past genres as a means of triggering collective memories of an era, while for multiple other film and TV genres, the past is a key component. So, for instance, in science fiction, it might depict the past as a function of time travel, while the Western is founded on its 19th century American frontier setting. And Gothic horror is often associated with Victorian England or based on fin de siècle literature.
But both media genres and nostalgic narratives have been subject to criticism. So, for instance, nostalgia has been seen as a regressive or conservative longing for a simplified past and regarded with skepticism, while the significance of period and historical drama is often heralded over seemingly less serious genres like comedy, horror, and sci-fi. So, I guess the obvious question is why now? Why is there been this kind of influx of research activity on these interconnected areas? What's led to that more recently? And so why have we decided to organise this conference? Do you want to tackle that one first?
Sure. Well, I think that, in recent decades, so, in our media saturated 21st century, that this relationship between film and TV genres and between nostalgia is becoming deeper and more complex. So we're seeing that more and more film and TV genres are opting for past settings. And meanwhile, we're also seeing that period dramas are rejecting traditional notions of authenticity in favor of adapting the past in more self-reflexive ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess when we can apply the same kind of ideas to genre, right? Genres obviously evolve over time, but especially recently, more and more they seem to be reflecting on their historical and social contexts. And genres use familiar iconography and conventions and imagery to critique in new ways that maybe their classical forms didn't allow. Those patterns of similarity and difference that we saw in that quote from Steve Neal, they use those genres, use those, and through those they can challenge established narratives. They can question perceptions of place and time, and they can interpret experience and memory in new ways. So I guess as genres continue to evolve, these kind of critiques and engagement with nostalgic forms take place more and more.
Absolutely. And we can have a look at some examples of these points. So, retro style in film and television genres has become commonplace. For example, in a particular fascination for the 1980s setting and feel of TV shows like Stranger Things. And other texts might engage with these retro styles in more abstract ways, so with vague references to the period in their costumes or props, despite being seemingly set in the present.
Marginalised histories have been brought to the fore in genre production more recently. Westerns have continued to challenge frontier myths by addressing issues of colonialism, for example. And other interpretations of popular genres enable new approaches to representations of race and gender and sexuality and ability and class throughout history.
Historical narratives are rewritten and explored anew, And new media platforms have changed the way we watch, discuss, and respond to genre texts, while audiences and fans revisit and remember favorite films and TV, even as producers capitalize on their popularity by remaking and rebooting and expanding franchise narratives.
The academic research, which will be showcased at the Genre Nostalgia Conference, will outline new and productive approaches to understanding these two areas and the ways in which they're intertwined in film and television. Around 60 presentations will cover a wide range of genres, from the Western to the soap opera, via documentaries, musicals, horror, exploitation, fantasy, crime, comedy, and science fiction. And this broad ranging research explores and analyzes the rich possibilities of genre storytelling on screen, covering thematic, aesthetic, and contextual approaches.
Contemporary film and television genres continue to engage with the past, with memory, and with history in an array of interesting ways. We hope that this event provides many examples of approaches and case studies related to genre and nostalgia, showcases a range of excellent new research in the area, and provides further opportunities for more discussions and connections going forward.